Failure is often misunderstood as a final stop, a sign that someone is not capable or worthy of success. In reality, failure is one of life's most honest teachers, offering lessons that comfort and ease can never provide. When a person fails, they experience a moment where expectations collapse and reality stands clearly in front of them. This moment, though painful, strips away false confidence and exposes the truth about effort, preparation, and intention. It is in this raw space that growth truly begins. Failure forces a person to slow down, reflect, and reassess their path instead of blindly moving forward. While success can sometimes hide weaknesses, failure reveals them openly, making it impossible to ignore what needs to change. From the very beginning of life, learning has been connected to failure. A child learns to walk by falling, learns to speak by making mistakes, and learns to understand the world by trial and error. No one criticizes a child for falling while learning to walk, yet as adults, we become harsh judges of our own mistakes. This change in mindset turns failure into fear. But if we observe carefully, we realize that failure is not a punishment. It is a natural part of learning. Each failed attempt carries information, quietly teaching us what went wrong and why. Those who pay attention to these lessons move forward wiser and stronger than before. Failure also has a unique way of breaking pride and rebuilding character. When things go well, people often credit talent, luck, or intelligence. But when things fall apart, excuses no longer work. Failure demands accountability. It asks uncomfortable questions that success never asks. Was the effort enough? Was the plan realistic? Was the mindset strong? These questions, though difficult, shape discipline and responsibility. A person who accepts failure honestly begins to understand the value of preparation, patience, and consistency. This understanding becomes a strong foundation upon which real success can be built. Another powerful aspect of failure is how it changes perspective. Before failure, success may seem simple or guaranteed. After failure, success becomes meaningful and intentional. The individual starts to value progress instead of perfection. They learn that growth is not a straight line, but a series of attempts, adjustments, and renewed efforts. Failure teaches that setbacks do not erase potential, they refine it. It shows that dreams do not disappear because of one wrong turn, but rather evolve through experience and resilience. Failure also teaches emotional intelligence in a way nothing else can. The disappointment, frustration, and self-doubt that follow failure force a person to manage their emotions. Some may initially feel broken, embarrassed, or hopeless, but those who choose not to quit slowly learn emotional strength. They learn how to sit with discomfort, how to calm the mind, and how to rise without external validation. This inner strength becomes essential later in life because true success always brings pressure, responsibility, and criticism. Without the emotional training that failure provides, success can feel overwhelming and fragile. In moments of failure, people often discover the difference between external approval and internal purpose. When success fades, applause disappears, and only intention remains. This silence pushes individuals to reconnect with their why. Why did they start in the first place? What truly matters to them? Many people realized during failure that they were chasing goals for the wrong reasons, such as validation, comparison, or fear. Failure clears this confusion and helps redefine purpose. It redirects energy toward goals that align with values rather than ego. Failure also builds humility, which is a hidden strength. A humble person remains open to learning, feedback, and improvement. Failure removes the illusion of being above mistakes and places everyone on the same human level. This humility creates better leaders, better learners, and better human beings. People who have failed are often more patient, understanding, and compassionate toward others. They know how heavy disappointment can feel, and this awareness makes them kinder and wiser in their interactions. One of the most important lessons failure teaches is patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, failure reminds us that meaningful progress takes time. It teaches that mastery is built through repetition, not shortcuts. Those who experience failure learn to respect the process instead of rushing outcomes. They understand that success achieved too quickly can disappear just as fast. But success built through struggle tends to last. This patience becomes a long-term advantage, especially in a world where many give up too early. Failure also strengthens problem-solving skills. When something does not work, the mind is forced to think creatively, new strategies are explored, different approaches are tested, and flexibility increases. This mental adaptability becomes a powerful asset. Instead of panicking when faced with challenges, those who have failed before know how to analyze situations calmly. They understand that obstacles are temporary and solvable. Failure trains the mind to focus on solutions rather than excuses. Perhaps the most overlooked gift of failure is self-awareness. Failure reveals strengths that were previously hidden and weaknesses that need attention. It shows how a person reacts under pressure, how they handle disappointment, and how committed they truly are to their goals. Some people realize through failure that they are stronger than they believed, while others discover areas where growth is necessary. This honest self-knowledge becomes a guiding light for future decisions. Failure also removes fear over time. The first failure often feels devastating, but with experience, fear loses its power. A person who has failed and survived realizes that failure is not fatal. Life continues, opportunities return, and lessons remain. This realization builds courage. When fear of failure disappears, action becomes easier. People take bolder steps, explore bigger dreams, and accept challenges without being paralyzed by doubt. This courage is often what separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. In the end, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. It prepares the mind, shapes character, strengthens emotions, and clarifies purpose. Failure teaches lessons that success alone cannot teach. Those who understand this stop running from failure and start using it as a guide. They learn to see failure not as a closed door, but as a key, one that unlocks wisdom, resilience, and eventually true success. Every successful individual carries a silent history of failures that the world rarely sees. What people usually admire is the final achievement, not the countless attempts that collapsed along the way. Yet those failed moments are the true builders of success. Failure is not wasted time. It is an unpaid education that teaches lessons more deeply than any book or mentor ever could. Each setback leaves behind experience, and experience slowly transforms into wisdom. Without this process, success would be fragile and easily lost. When a person fails, they are forced to analyze what went wrong. This process develops a habit of self-reflection, which is essential for growth. Instead of repeating the same mistakes, a thoughtful individual learns to adjust strategies and improve execution. Failure exposes weak planning, lack of preparation, or unrealistic expectations. While this exposure can be uncomfortable, it is also incredibly valuable. It removes guesswork and replaces it with clarity. Over time, this clarity sharpens decision-making and reduces repeated errors. Failure also trains discipline in a powerful way. After a setback, success no longer feels guaranteed. This uncertainty pushes a person to work harder, prepare better, and stay focused. Many people become disciplined only after they experience the consequences of carelessness or overconfidence. Failure teaches that talent alone is never enough. Consistent effort is required. It shows that shortcuts often lead to disappointment, while steady work leads to lasting results. This understanding becomes a core habit that supports future success. Another important role of failure is that it teaches resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties and keep moving forward. Every time a person fails and chooses not to quit, resilience grows stronger. This quality cannot be taught through comfort or ease. It is built only through struggle. The mind becomes trained to endure disappointment without collapsing. Over time, setbacks lose their power to break confidence. Instead of stopping progress, they become small pauses that strengthen determination. Failure also creates realistic expectations. Before failing, people often imagine success as smooth and effortless. After failing, they understand that challenges are part of the journey. This realism prevents frustration and burnout. When obstacles appear, they are no longer seen as signs to quit, but as normal stages of progress. This mindset keeps motivation alive during difficult periods. A person who expects difficulty is less likely to give up when difficulty arrives. One of the most valuable lessons failure teaches is responsibility. When something fails, blaming others or circumstances may feel comforting, but it leads nowhere. True growth begins when a person accepts ownership of their mistakes. This responsibility empowers change. Once someone takes control of their actions, they gain the power to improve. Failure teaches that growth starts from within, not from external excuses. This sense of responsibility strengthens leadership and independence. Failure also encourages learning and skill development. A setback often highlights missing knowledge or weak abilities. This realization pushes a person to learn, practice, and improve. Many skills are developed not because of ambition, but because failure made improvement necessary. This continuous learning keeps a person adaptable in a changing world. Instead of becoming outdated or stagnant, they evolve. Failure becomes a signal pointing toward areas that need growth. Another hidden benefit of failure is that it builds patience with progress. Success achieved too quickly can create arrogance, while success earned through failure creates respect for the journey. Those who fail understand that growth takes time. They learn to appreciate small improvements and steady progress. This patience prevents impulsive decisions and unrealistic expectations. It also helps maintain motivation during long-term goals where results are not immediate. Failure also strengthens mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to stay focused and confident under pressure. When a person experiences failure, they face doubt, criticism, and fear. Choosing to continue despite these feelings builds a strong inner core. Over time, the mind becomes trained to handle pressure calmly. This quality is essential for success, especially in competitive environments where stress is constant. Those who lack mental toughness often collapse under pressure, while those shaped by failure remain steady. Failure also teaches adaptability. Life rarely follows a perfect plan, and failure forces adjustments. People learn to change direction without losing purpose. They become flexible thinkers, capable of responding to unexpected situations. This adaptability becomes a major strength, especially in fast-changing fields. Instead of resisting change, those who have failed before learn to work with it. Failure teaches that changing strategy does not mean abandoning the goal. Another powerful lesson failure teaches is humility. Success without failure can create arrogance, but failure reminds a person that growth is ongoing. Humility keeps the mind open to advice, feedback, and learning. A humble individual continues to improve even after achieving success. Failure plants this humility early, preventing stagnation later. It keeps a person grounded and focused on improvement rather than ego. Failure also sharpens focus. After failing, distractions lose importance. The mind becomes clearer about priorities. A person starts to invest time and energy more wisely. They understand the cost of wasted effort. This focus improves efficiency and productivity. Instead of doing many things poorly, they learn to do fewer things well. Failure acts as a filter, removing unnecessary actions and highlighting what truly matters. Most importantly, failure creates experience, and experience creates confidence. This confidence is different from blind self-belief. It is earned and realistic. A person who has failed and learned knows that they are capable of handling. They trust their ability to recover, adapt, and grow. This confidence is calm and steady, not loud or arrogant. It allows a person to take risks without fear of collapse. In the long run, failure is not a setback but a preparation. It prepares the mind for pressure, the heart for disappointment, and the character for responsibility. Every failure adds another layer of strength. When success finally arrives, it is supported by experience, discipline, resilience, and wisdom. This kind of success lasts because it is not built on luck alone, but on lessons learned through failure. Failure has a powerful role in shaping emotional strength, a quality that often determines whether success can be sustained or not. When people experience failure, they are forced to face emotions that comfort and ease never produce. Disappointment, frustration, embarrassment, self-doubt, and sometimes even shame. These emotions can feel overwhelming at first, but they also create an opportunity for deep emotional growth. Learning to process these feelings without giving up is one of the most important skills a person can develop. Emotional strength is not about avoiding pain. It is about learning how to move through pain without losing direction. When failure strikes, many people initially react with denial or anger. They may blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck. This reaction is natural, but over time, those who grow from failure begin to look inward. They start recognizing their emotional triggers and learning how to control them. This self-control becomes a powerful asset. Instead of reacting impulsively, they learn to respond thoughtfully. This emotional maturity improves decision-making and prevents future mistakes driven by frustration or fear. Failure also teaches patience with oneself. Many people set unrealistic expectations and become harsh critics of their own progress. When failure occurs, it exposes the gap between expectation and reality. While this gap can be painful, it also teaches self-compassion. People begin to understand that growth is not instant and perfection is unrealistic. This patience reduces self-destructive behavior and replaces it with steady effort. A person who learns to be patient with themselves is more likely to stay committed to long-term goals. Another important emotional lesson failure teaches is how to handle disappointment without losing hope. Disappointment is inevitable in any meaningful journey. Those who have never failed often struggle when things do not go their way because they lack emotional preparation. Failure builds emotional endurance. Each setback becomes a training session for the heart, teaching it how to recover. Over time, disappointment becomes less paralyzing and more manageable. The ability to continue despite disappointment is a defining trait of successful individuals. Failure also builds empathy. When a person has struggled, they become more understanding of others' struggles. This empathy strengthens relationships and improves communication. It allows individuals to connect on a deeper level, whether in personal life or professional environments. Empathy also creates better leaders, because leaders who understand failure are less judgmental and more supportive. They inspire trust, because they lead with understanding rather than fear. In moments of failure, people often feel alone, especially when external support fades. This loneliness forces individuals to rely on their inner strength. They learn how to motivate themselves without constant encouragement. This internal motivation becomes crucial later in life because success does not always come with applause. Emotional independence allows a person to keep moving even when no one is watching. F. Failure trains the mind to find strength from within rather than depending on validation from others. Failure also helps people confront fear honestly. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, and fear of inadequacy often surface after failure. Instead of running from these fears, those who grow use failure as a chance to face them. Facing fear reduces its power. A person who has already failed realizes that fear does not destroy them. This realization creates courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Failure teaches this lesson repeatedly. Another emotional strength built through failure is resilience against criticism. When failure becomes public, criticism often follows. Learning to handle criticism without losing confidence is essential for success. Failure teaches people how to separate useful feedback from negativity. Over time, they become less sensitive to opinions that do not matter and more focused on improvement. This emotional filtering protects mental health and keeps attention on growth rather than approval. Failure also changes how people view setbacks. Instead of seeing them as personal attacks, they begin to see them as temporary events. This shift in perspective reduces emotional suffering. A setback becomes something that happened, not something that defines identity. This distinction is crucial. When people stop identifying themselves with failure, they free themselves to grow beyond it. Emotional strength grows when identity is not tied to outcomes. Failure further teaches acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up, it means acknowledging reality as it is. When people accept failure honestly, they stop wasting energy on regret and start investing energy in improvement. This acceptance creates emotional peace, allowing clearer thinking and better decisions. Without acceptance, people remain trapped in past. Failure pushes individuals toward acceptance so they can move forward. Another deep emotional benefit of failure is gratitude. After experiencing loss or disappointment, people begin to appreciate small victories and progress. Gratitude shifts focus from what went wrong to what is still possible. This mindset improves emotional well-being and keeps motivation alive. Those who have failed often appreciate success more deeply because they understand its cost. This gratitude prevents arrogance and encourages humility. Failure also strengthens emotional boundaries. People learn when to listen to others and when to trust themselves. After failure, advice often comes from many directions, not all of it helpful. Learning to choose wisely builds emotional intelligence. A person becomes confident in their judgment while remaining open to learning. This balance protects emotional stability and supports healthy growth. Over time, repeated failures create emotional stability. Instead of extreme highs and lows, emotions become balanced. Success no longer creates overconfidence, and failure no longer creates despair. This emotional balance allows consistent effort regardless of circumstances. Consistency is one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. Failure teaches this stability by exposing the consequences of emotional extremes. Failure also encourages honesty with oneself. It removes illusions and forces self-reflection. People begin to understand their emotional patterns, triggers, and limits. This awareness leads to better emotional regulation. Knowing when to rest, when to push, and when to seek support becomes easier. Failure teaches that emotional health is as important as skill or intelligence. Perhaps the most powerful emotional lesson failure teaches is hope grounded in reality. This hope is not blind optimism, but informed belief. It is the confidence that progress is possible because it has been earned before. A person who has failed and recovered trusts their ability to rise again. This trust creates calm confidence. It allows individuals to face uncertainty without panic and move forward with steady determination. In the end, failure shapes the emotional foundation required for meaningful success. It builds resilience, patience, empathy, courage, and emotional balance. These qualities protect success once it arrives. Without emotional strength, success becomes fragile and short-lived. Failure provides this strength quietly and painfully, but effectively. Those who understand this truth stop fearing failure and begin valuing it as a necessary step toward lasting success. Failure plays a crucial role in self-discovery, often revealing truths about a person that success alone can never uncover. When everything is going well, it is easy to move forward without questioning direction, purpose, or identity. Failure interrupts this flow and forces a pause. In this pause, individuals are compelled to look inward and examine who they truly are, what they truly want, and why they are pursuing a particular path. This moment of reflection, though uncomfortable, becomes one of the most important stages of personal growth. When a person fails, illusions begin to fall away. The image they held of themselves, their abilities, or their future is tested by reality. This test is not meant to destroy confidence, but to refine it. Failure exposes exaggerated expectations and replaces them with honesty. A person begins to see their strengths more clearly and, equally important, their limitations. This awareness does not weaken them. Instead, it provides direction. Knowing where one stands is far more powerful than living under false assumptions. Failure often forces people to ask deeper questions about purpose. Why am I doing this? Is this goal truly mine? Or was it shaped by society, family, or comparison with others? Many people chase paths that look impressive but feel empty. Failure acts as a signal that something may be misaligned. It pushes individuals to reconsider whether their efforts match their values. In many cases, people discover that failure was not a sign of incapability, but a sign that they were walking the wrong road. Through failure, people also discover hidden strengths. In moments of comfort, resilience, courage, and creativity often remain dormant. Failure awakens these qualities. When external support fades and plans collapse, individuals are forced to rely on inner resources they may not have known existed. This discovery builds confidence grounded in experience rather than assumption. Knowing that one can endure hardship changes how future challenges are approached. Failure also reveals commitment levels. It separates wishes from true desires. When things become difficult, only goals with real meaning survive. Some dreams fade after failure, not because they were impossible, but because they were never deeply wanted. This realization saves time and energy. It allows people to let go of goals that do not align with their true passions and redirect effort toward pursuits that inspire persistence. Failure acts as a filter, removing superficial ambitions and highlighting genuine purpose. Another important aspect of self-discovery through failure is understanding personal limits and boundaries. Failure teaches when to push harder and when to change direction. It helps individuals recognize burnout, unhealthy patterns, and unrealistic pressure. This awareness leads to healthier decision-making. People learn that success does not require self-destruction. They begin to respect their mental, emotional, and physical limits while still striving for growth. Failure also clarifies values. In moments of loss, people see what truly matters to them. External rewards such as status or recognition lose their shine, while inner values such as peace, integrity, and fulfillment gain importance. This clarity influences future choices. Decisions become guided by values rather than fear or comparison. Failure realigns priorities and helps individuals build a life that feels meaningful rather than impressive. Self-discovery through failure also strengthens authenticity. When success disappears, there is no image to protect. People stop performing for approval and start acting honestly. This authenticity attracts healthier relationships and opportunities. Being real becomes more important than appearing perfect. Failure teaches that pretending to be someone else is exhausting and unsustainable. True growth begins when a person accepts who they are and works from that foundation. Failure further teaches independence of thought. After failing, people often receive many opinions and judgments. Learning to listen without being controlled by these voices builds confidence in one's own judgment. A person becomes more selective about advice and more trusting of their inner voice. This independence is essential for leadership and innovation. Failure pushes individuals to develop their own understanding rather than blindly following others. Another powerful lesson failure teaches is adaptability of identity. Many people attach their identity to a single role or outcome. When failure takes that away, it can feel like losing oneself. However, this experience reveals that identity is not fixed. People learn that there are more than one role, one job, or one achievement. This flexibility protects mental health and allows reinvention. Failure teaches that change does not erase identity, it expands it. Failure also highlights personal responsibility in shaping life. While external factors may play a role, failure emphasizes the impact of choices. This realization empowers individuals. Instead of feeling like victims of circumstance, they recognize their ability to influence outcomes. This sense of control fuels motivation and confidence. Self-discovery through failure often leads to a stronger belief in personal agency. Another important aspect of self-discovery is understanding how one responds to adversity. Failure reveals emotional patterns, coping mechanisms, and stress responses. This awareness allows improvement. People learn how to manage stress better, communicate more clearly, and seek support when needed. These skills improve not only personal growth, but also relationships and leadership abilities. Failure also teaches the difference between ego and self-worth. Ego is tied to outcomes and approval, while self-worth remains steady regardless of success or failure. When ego is damaged by failure, individuals have the opportunity to build true self-worth. This shift creates inner stability. People stop defining themselves by external achievements and start valuing effort, growth, and integrity. Over time, repeated self-discovery through failure creates clarity. Goals become more focused, actions more intentional, and decisions more confident. Instead of chasing everything, people pursue what aligns with their true selves. This clarity reduces confusion and increases fulfillment. Failure becomes a guide rather than an obstacle. Perhaps the most powerful outcome of failure-driven self-discovery is alignment. When values, strengths, and purpose align, effort feels meaningful even when difficult. Failure helps remove distractions and misalignment. It brings people closer to who they are meant to become. Success achieved after this alignment feels deeper and more satisfying. In the end, failure is not just about owning what went wrong. It is about learning who you are. It reveals truth, refines purpose, and strengthens identity. Those who embrace this process emerge wiser, clearer, and more grounded. Failure becomes a mirror, reflecting the path toward a more authentic and successful life. Success that is achieved after failure carries a depth, strength, and meaning that effortless success can never match. When a person finally succeeds after repeated setbacks, that success is not just an outcome, it is a reflection of growth, endurance, and wisdom earned through struggle. Failure changes the way success is perceived. It is no longer seen as a destination, but as a responsibility, something that must be protected, respected, and nurtured. This kind of success is grounded because it is built on experience rather than illusion. Failure prepares a person for the weight of success. Many people desire success, but few are ready to handle it. Success brings pressure, expectations, criticism, and responsibility. Without the lessons of failure, success can overwhelm a person and lead to poor decisions. Failure trains patience, discipline, and emotional control, which are essential for managing success wisely. Those who have failed understand that success can be temporary if not handled carefully. This awareness makes them more cautious, humble, and thoughtful. One of the most important ways failure strengthens success is by building gratitude. When success comes easily, it is often taken for granted. But when success follows hardship, every achievement feels valuable. Gratitude keeps success meaningful and prevents arrogance. A grateful person continues to work hard because they remember how difficult the journey was. This attitude keeps progress moving forward instead of stopping at comfort. Failure also teaches consistency, which is the backbone of lasting success. Many people start strong but quit when results are slow. Those who have experienced failure know that progress requires sustained effort over time. They are less distracted by temporary setbacks and more focused on long-term goals. This consistency allows them to build habits that support success even when motivation fades. Success becomes a routine, not a lucky moment. Another powerful effect of failure is that it strengthens confidence in a realistic way. This confidence is not based on praise or external validation, but on proven ability to recover and adapt. A person who has failed and risen again trusts themselves deeply. They know they can face challenges without breaking. This confidence allows them to take smart risks and pursue bigger goals. They are not fearless because they never failed. They are fearless because they survived failure. Failure also improves decision-making. Past mistakes become reference points for future choices. People who have failed learn to evaluate options more carefully and avoid repeating errors. They understand consequences and think long-term. This wisdom makes their success more stable. Instead of chasing quick wins, they choose paths that align with growth and sustainability. Success after failure is also more ethical and grounded in values. Failure often forces people to reflect on their principles. When they rebuild, they do so with clearer values. Integrity becomes more important than shortcuts. This creates success that not only benefits the individual, but also positively impacts others. Such success earns respect, not just attention. Failure further creates resilience against future setbacks. Even after achieving success, challenges will continue to appear. Those who have failed before are not surprised by difficulties. They remain calm and proactive. This resilience prevents panic and poor reactions. It allows success to continue, growing instead of collapsing under pressure. Another key lesson failure brings is appreciation for teamwork and support. During failure, people often realize they cannot succeed alone. They learn the value of guidance, collaboration, and support. When success arrives, they become better leaders and team players. They uplift others instead of competing destructively. This creates healthier environments and multiplies success. Failure also teaches balance. People learn that success should not come at the cost of health, relationships, or peace of mind. Many failures happen because of imbalance, overwork, neglect, or unhealthy pressure. Learning from this, people rebuild with balance. This balanced success lasts longer and feels more fulfilling. Success born from failure also carries a powerful message for others. It becomes a source of inspiration. People who share their failures honestly give hope to those who are struggling. This impact is greater than success alone. It proves that setbacks are not the end. This kind of success creates purpose beyond personal achievement. Failure transforms mindset. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" people begin asking, "What can I learn?" This mindset keeps growth alive even after success is achieved. Learning never stops. Failure ensures that success does not create stagnation. It keeps curiosity, humility, and improvement active. Perhaps the greatest gift of failure is that it removes fear of losing success. A person who has rebuilt before knows they can rebuild again. This freedom allows them to innovate, explore, and grow without being trapped by fear. They are not controlled by success, they use it wisely. In the end, failure is not a detour from success, it is the road that leads to it. Success without failure is often shallow, but success shaped by failure is strong, meaningful, and lasting. Failure teaches lessons that protect success, strengthen character, and deepen purpose. Those who understand this truth stop seeing failure as an enemy and start recognizing it as a powerful ally on the journey to real success. If you enjoyed this video and found it inspiring, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more meaningful content like this. Don't forget to share your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.